Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. And today got me thinking, don't you just wish for wonderful neighbors? Neighbors who greet you when they see you, neighbors who share food during family and holiday celebrations, and neighbors who are kind enough to watch over your house and your pets while you are away. Sana all good neighbors, right? But good neighbors are hard to come by. Swerte-swerte talaga yan. Paminsan nasa lugar yan, paminsan nasa tao talaga. And I'm sure everyone has had an experience with, neighbors who are difficult to deal with. The usual complaints are noisy children, noisy dogs, nosy housewives, and irritating video sessions. Now, did you know that there are laws to keep and maintain good neighborhoods and communities? And we can complain these misbehaviors by our neighbors? Well, in this video, you will know what these rules are and what remedies are available against these bad neighbors. The first rule on good neighborhood is responsible use of property. Sic utere tuo ut alienum non ledas, which means use your property so as not to injure that of your neighbors. Dapat isaalang-alang ang kapakanan at karapatan ng kapitbahay mo. Examples, when making constructions or making extensions or putting up fences, make sure that you are within boundaries. Next, waste management. Okay? Do not throw your waste or dump your waste in somebody else's property, even if it's not inhabited. The next law is the law on easements. What is an easement? An easement or servitude is an encumbrance imposed upon an immovable for the benefit of another immovable belonging to a different owner. Easement ang tawag sa limitasyon o restriction dun sa property mo for the benefit of your neighbor. Examples of these easements are easements of right-of-way and easements of drainage of waters. So yung right-of-way, yan yung very familiar. So imagine your neighbor who has no access to the highway and you have an access to the highway because your property is beside the highway. So under the law on easement, yung kapitbahay mo pwedeng humingi ng right-of-way sa property mo para makalabas siya sa highway. And in these cases, this can be by agreement, meaning pwede nyo pag-usapan, or if you cannot agree, you can go to court and let the court decide. Doon naman sa easement of drainage of waters, imagine if you're next to an elevated property, and when it's raining, the waters from the elevated property flow through your property. Under this easement, you must allow the drainage of these waters, so you cannot put up fences or anything that will block the flow of the waters. The third law of good neighborhood is quite interesting, and it's the law on overhanging trees and falling fruits. Article 680 of the Civil Code states, if the branches of any trees should extend over a neighboring estate, tenement, garden, or yard, the owner of the latter shall have the right to demand that they be cut off insofar as they may spread over his property. And if it be the roots of a neighboring tree which should penetrate into the land of another, the latter may cut them off himself within his property. Article 681 of the Civil Code, on the other hand, states, fruits naturally falling upon adjacent land belong to the owner of the said land. Okay, example. Let's say your neighbor has a tree and this tree is extending over your property, blocking your sunlight. And you hate that because you need the sunlight. So you can ask your neighbor to cut some branches and so far as they extend into your space. Now, if it were the roots which intruded into your property, you don't need to ask permission, you just cut them off. As far as fruits are concerned, so long as they're attached to the tree, they belong to the owner of the tree. Under the principle, the accessory follows the principal. Now, wish that these fruits will fall into the ground, because when they fall into your property, then you have the right to pick them up. The next area of good neighborhood is comfort, and here we talk about nuisance. What is nuisance? A nuisance is any act, omission, establishment, condition of property, or anything else which injures or endangers the health or safety of others, annoys or offends the senses, shocks, defies, or disregards decency or morality, obstructs or interferes with the free passage of any public highway or street or any body of water, or hinders or impairs the use of property. The purpose of the law against nuisance is to keep and maintain peaceful and harmonious coexistence among the members of community. And when it comes to nuisance, I have keywords for that. Ingay, baho, dumi, at harang. Okay. As far as ingay is concerned, anything that is beyond what is reasonable and acceptable is a nuisance. So, if you're a peaceful and quiet neighborhood, a video session that is heard all the way to the end of the street, now that's nuisance and that can be stopped. Now, as far as smell or scent is concerned, anything that is offensive smell is a nuisance. And of course, that's subjective. In some areas, cooking, say tuyo and daing na pusit would be fine. But when you try to cook that in a condominium building, now that may be objected to. The restrictions may be different from place to place. Now, for dumi or waste, of course, we are referring to uncollected trash or dumping of construction materials on public roads. That is a nuisance that can be abated. Lastly, on harang, anything that obstructs ingress and egress is a nuisance. So anything that blocks your gate, for example, is a nuisance and can be reported to the authorities. The last law on good neighborhood is privacy. Article 26 of the Civil Code states that every person shall respect the dignity, personality, privacy, and peace of mind of his neighbors and other persons. So, pursuant to Article 26 of the Civil Code, eto yung mga bawal. Prying into the privacy of another's residence, pagchichismis at pakikialam sa buhay ng may buhay ng mga kapitbahay. Meddling with or disturbing the private life or family relations of another. Tinatanong, bakit nag-away si kapitbahay? Bakit nag-away sila ng asawa niya? And all that. Now, that is unnecessarily interfering and meddling into the private life of your neighbors. Third, intriguing to cause another to be alienated from his friends. So, yan, pangingintriga. Para ano? Para iwasan siya ng ibang tao. Also, vexing or humiliating another on account of his religious beliefs, lowly station in life, place of birth, physical defect, or other personal condition. So, ito niyang pangungutya at panginsulto sa kapitbahay dahil sa kanyang mga paniniwala, dahil sa kanyang kapansanan, at sa kanyang pagkatao. So, these acts violate the privacy of a person. And that's not good for a peaceful and harmonious neighborhood, right? So, what are the remedies against a violation of these laws and rules on good neighborhood? Well, the law is the law. Every violation can give rise to a legal action. But note, the law encourages a peaceful settlement of disputes, especially between neighbors. Thus, the local government code requires that disputes involving neighbors must be brought to the barangay conciliation so that the parties can settle their differences. Remember, you will be living next to this neighbor for a very long time, if not for the rest of your life. So life would be so much better without the stress and the conflicts. So be kind to one another. So that ends our video. I hope you learned something today. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, let me know in the comment section below. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.